Right, welcome back to the NFL show. And this Sunday night, live and exclusive on talkSPORT, we'll be bringing you the Jets against the Bills as our 6 p.m. game. The Jets looking to bounce back from that thrilling, but ultimately 0-1 Week 1 defeat. The Bills, I mean, talk about thrillers. These are two teams who are involved in the two best games in Week 1, you could definitely argue. And I'm delighted to say that a man on that offensive line that performed so impressively that first weekend, left tackle Olu Fashanu, is with us. Now, Olu, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Look, obviously you'd rather be sat here 1-0 after Week 1, but how do you reflect on the Week 1 performance, watching the film back, watching your performance back?
Yeah, obviously disappointed not to get the win, but there are a lot of positives. And for me personally, it's just looking at the things that I could have done better and just using all of those things that I gathered from the game and just trying to improve on that throughout the week for Sunday.
I mean, we heard a lot about how this was going to be a team built in the trenches, how it was going to be a physical team, and up front, you guys definitely showed that. Like, I think the offensive line across the whole, particularly when you lose a player so close to the season, incredibly impressive performance across the board, watching it from the outside.
Thank you.
Can I ask about, obviously for yourself, second-year player, still so young in the league, but how impressed with you with Armand Membou's performance as a rookie coming in and protecting him, particularly pass protection like he did?
Yeah. I mean, for me and the rest of the team, like, it's no surprise. I mean, from the moment that he stepped foot in the building, he's been a true professional, very detail oriented and, super focused on his technique and always trying to get better. So for me to just watch him go out there and dominate the way that he did, honestly, like, it was no surprise for me.
We've got you opening up the run lanes. I'd like the idea for Jets fans that you've got two tackles in first and second year who could bookend this line, hopefully for years and years to come. That's got to be pretty exciting for you guys.
No, absolutely. And when you have, like you said, just two young tackles, I think there's really a great opportunity, not just for the offensive line, but for the team in general, for us to really be locked in and focused and, eventually just be here for years to come.
Talk to me a little bit actually about those changes after Elijah Vera-Tucker went down, Joe Tippmann shifting to right guard, Josh Myers coming in at center. Like, how difficult is that for a line when something like that happens so close to the season to still click and keep things going?
Yeah, it's really difficult, and for someone like Elijah who was voted captain, the week before the game, and he was really seen as one of the true leaders, not only on offense but as a team. It was definitely a huge blow, but in times like that, you just have to rely on each other. And for us, it was a rough couple of days, just learning about his injury. But at the end of the day, we knew that we still had a task ahead, so we couldn't dwell on it too much, but at the same time, we just knew what we had to accomplish, and Elijah was very supportive of us, even, with his circumstance. So.
And for people who don't know, Josh Myers played with Justin Fields in college as well, so that's got to help, I guess, with that. And you have to say, Justin Fields coming out of Week 1, shining star, very impressive performance. You guys have to have been pleased with what you saw.
No, absolutely. I mean, I could say the same thing about Justin that I did with Armand, just super detail-oriented from the moment that he's been in the building. You could tell that, he came to the team with an edge on him, and I felt like everyone saw that last week. And, we know that he's the type of guy that, through good and bad, he's always going to be there. He's always going to help lead the entire team. And for me personally, having the ability to block for someone like that, just gives me a ton of confidence.
Equally to all of that, two new guys in the building, very impressed with what they've done. What about Breece Hall coming back from everything he's been through and having the performance he had this weekend?
Oh yeah, it's for Breece especially. That's really awesome. I'm pretty close with Breece, and for me to just see that performance that he had last week, it was really good to see.
Look, if I had you blocking up front for me, I think I'd be good friends with you as well. I think I'd be buying you gifts. I'd be buttering you up at all opportunities. Like, he should be getting close to you, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I want to ask about coaching in New York, because obviously, only your second season in the league and a change across the board. Aaron Glenn talked a lot after Sunday's defeat about no moral victories. He was very big on accountability. What's he been like around the camp and with you guys kind of behind the scenes this week?
Yeah, no, I feel like one of his big emphasis is really just improving. Just trying to find the small details that we could have done better in the game last week, and just making sure that we fine tune everything to make sure that when certain situations come up in this game this weekend, we'll be a lot more prepared for it.
Love it, absolutely love it. Look, he seems from the outside like a player's coach, like he's very popular. Is he demanding? Is he as intense as he comes across in person? Like, what kind of guy is he behind? Like, is he a friend to the players? Like, what's he like?
No, 100%. He's very demanding, but I think with him being a former player, he understands how us as players, how we think. So, he's just the type of guy that he always says the right words, and he's the type of guy that, is easy to rally behind. Always says the right words. He's super present, and I think for a team that's had as many struggles as we have over the last few seasons, it's refreshing to have a coach like that is always going to be there, is always super present, always says the right words.
And before we get on to Buffalo this weekend, a word for Coach Engstrand as well, coming in from Detroit. A lot of people wondering, stepping up to offensive coordinator. Have we just got a taste of how explosive that can be this past weekend?
No, absolutely, absolutely. And as the season goes on, you'll start to see a lot more explosive things. We have a lot of plays in the playbook, and throughout the season, we'll be making sure to use all of them.
You got a flavour of this rivalry with Buffalo last year. For those guys who are new in the building, what are you saying to them about what this atmosphere is going to be like, this rivalry going into Sunday?
Yeah, obviously, this game is different as it's a divisional matchup. But for me personally, I try not to think about one game being more important than the other. Obviously, naturally, that's how you want to think about it, just because this game has a lot of implications for later on in the season. But for myself, I always just treat it as just another game, and my routine doesn't change at all. I'm still doing the same things I did last week.
I'm intrigued as well, like as players, how much you're maybe paying attention to this. But to pull back the curtain a little bit, we were supposed to be speaking to Greg Rousseau today, and because he's shown up on the injury report, that interview ends up getting cancelled and you change to somebody else. Him and Ed Oliver both showing up on the injury report in the last couple of days. Is that something that you guys notice from the outside? Are you talking about how that might affect your game plan in meeting rooms? Like, is that something that comes up?
Be honest, it doesn't. You got to be prepared to go against whoever. So for me, just hearing that's the first time I heard it. And I know for, again, myself personally, like I stay off my phone during the season, so I'm not really hearing updates about anyone or anything. For me, I'm just prepared to go against whoever's on that defensive line, whoever's lined up across from me.
Is it a feeling out process maybe in the game then? Because if you don't know who you're going up against, say Greg Rousseau isn't ready to go, and it sounds like he probably will be for Sunday, but say he's not ready to go and you've got someone opposite you who maybe you've not got tape on from last week, how do you feel that out? How quickly do you feel comfortable with what they're going to do for you that day?
Well, for me, it's not about really reacting to whoever I'm going against. It's about myself bringing the fight to whoever it is. So I want to be the one that dictates the matchup.
Love that. Absolutely love that. From what you saw from them last year, though, tough defense to go against?
Oh, absolutely. They have a lot of talented players, and I think the biggest thing that comes across the screen is just how disciplined they are. They're a very disciplined group. They're very athletic. They're always in the right spot. So for us, we just see it as a great challenge. And for me personally, I just can't wait for that matchup on Sunday.
And look, it was electric at MetLife from what we heard and saw on this past weekend. I think there is a renewed excitement. I think there is a renewed confidence, even with the defeat this past weekend. So actually maybe getting that rivalry game in front of your fans and getting them G'd up again is just another way to start pushing this thing forward.
No, most definitely, most definitely. I mean, like you said, the atmosphere last Sunday was definitely electric, and I mean, not to take anything away from the Steelers, but when you're going against a team like Buffalo, who's one of our direct divisional rivals, I feel like it's just going to be amplified to another level. So again, I'm really looking forward for Sunday.
Love it. Look, Olu, we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for chatting with us, letting me get a little bit nerdy about the line as part of that. And look, we're excited for this game live on talkSPORT this Sunday night. Have a great game. Best of luck. And if not before, we'll see you in London in a few weeks' time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.